All right, let's see if that works. All right, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the part of the world that you're at. Thanks for being here tonight. My name is Justin, and tonight I've got Jim Rowe with me, aka Wolf of Bricks. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. When we were talking about maybe doing a show together, talking about Legos, I was like, yeah, man, I love talking about Legos. Why not?
Right.
So I
I mean,
think my
because
better. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say it's a lifestyle. I mean, when you're in it, like you're in it. Like you either flirt on occasion or you dive into it. There's no in between.
Yeah,
So
there's no just like dipping your toe into Lego
right,
buying or reselling it's or investing. It's like you're in the Facebook groups, you're in the Instagram, you're in the YouTube, you're always in it.
everywhere.
So, but yeah, it looks like we've got some people jumping in on the chat, so we'll go ahead and say hi to everybody. It looks like David Mezzaro says, "Let's go out and get it," which is Jim's catchphrase. If you guys aren't familiar with it, but Jim has a YouTube channel about Lego investing, and he's been in the Lego investing community for years and has a ton of great knowledge. And he's got a lot of great information to share with us tonight. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody, and then we'll get into it.
Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jim, and I have recently started a YouTube channel. And I'm very appreciative at the, I would call it successful. I think in maybe 2 weeks, I think we're approaching 700 subscribers. So I'm very, very grateful, very happy about that. And, it's going to be, if you haven't guessed already, it's going to be a different flavor than the last YouTube channel I was on. And so, there's a lot of good things coming your way. I just ask for a little bit of patience, and I'm excited. I'm not trying to put it over that much, but last Wednesday I signed a person to the Wolf of Bricks team. I'm very excited about that. She will
Okay.
be recording her videos where are we at? Probably tomorrow.
Okay.
And if everything goes well, she'll have her first video out next week. Her name is Morgan. We have the website that should be launching soon. So I don't know if you subscribe to me or not, no pressure if you haven't. But when I was on that other YouTube channel, I would introduce it as "Welcome to BrickBucks.net." Now I'm introducing it as "Welcome to Wolf of Bricks." I'm very much looking forward to introducing it as wolfofbricks.com. So
Okay.
there's
Fancy.
nothing there
Fancy.
yet.
Yeah, you got the .com status.
Got it for 99 cents too. Very happy about that.
Very cool.
Thank you, GoDaddy. And so and so yeah, so whenever that website is launched, there's going to be a couple things that either you haven't seen, but either you're a little bit familiar with, you may have seen on another website, or something you haven't seen before. And it's going to take maybe a few more weeks. I was hoping to have it launched September 1st, but the person that's doing it had a family emergency, and that's okay. We're going to take our time. This is a marathon. I don't need to tell Justin that. It is not a sprint.
Yeah, no, you're already blowing me out of the water, Jim, because it took me more than 2 weeks to get 700 subscribers on my channel, but I also wasn't super consistent when I started out either. But yeah, it sounds like you're already well on your way. And plus, for anyone that doesn't know, Jim used to be a part of a different channel, Lego investing channel, and he built that up and was on it for years, and is now doing his own thing, which is great, and I'm pretty excited for him. He's got some great informational videos about Lego investing, reselling, what sets to look for, what sets are retiring, just all sorts of all sorts of great information out there that is not common knowledge for every person out there. So
right.
I do want to say thank you. It looks like Joe G dropped us a $5.15 super chat to start the night off. Thank you, Joe G. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Joe.
So I want to say hi to thank everybody for being in the chat. Milad said, I've been waiting for this all week. Thanks for being here. Miss Ella from Save Here First says hi. Jason says hi. ATL Flipper said, hey, everybody. And I think he said that he already subscribed to your channel.
Thank you.
Or he said he just subscribed.
Thank you.
So thank you for subscribing. Milad said, I know because I collect Star Wars Legos, one of the best themes to invest in. I'm a big fan of Star Wars Legos myself. So how about
Star
you?
Wars Legos are great. I mean, let's put the reselling aspect on the shelf. I mean, just building, right? I mean, it's cool stuff. I mean, there are occasional sets where you're like, I don't know, maybe I'll wait for the second version to come out.
Right.
But I mean, it's jam packed with cool stuff. That the helmets are great. Those Lego figures that they did maybe 3 or 4 years ago was amazing. I think that was the first Lego Star Wars sets that I purchased, the Boba Fett ones. But it's fun all around.
Yeah, around Christmas time or after Christmas time last year, I was picking up as many of the Boba Fett Slave One ships as I could, and I think I only have like 8 or 10 of them, and I wish I had more. Those were the UCS or not the 20th anniversary edition sets.
Right.
You know, I was getting those on clearance for like $60 to $80, and I think they're up to like $250, $275 right now. I wish I had more, but I love the Star Wars Lego sets for sure.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What was the last Star Wars set? I mean, I've been buying here and there the TIE Fighter helmets, but the one, honestly, the last Star Wars set that has really excited me was I forget a piece of the name, so excuse me, but it was the General something TIE Fighter. It was the red and black TIE Fighter, not the Sith TIE Fighter.
The Sith TIE Fighter, I think that's
well, there's a Sith one, and then one retired last December that kind of stuck around till March.
Okay.
You know, the black and reds, anytime there's a TIE Fighter with red in it, I just love it. I mean, it's like a black TIE Fighter is bad to the bone, right? But a red and black TIE Fighter, you're just breaking all the rules.
It looks like we have been invaded. We have some invading forces coming in. We'll go ahead and say hi to everybody, but it looks like my friend Richie Hustles has sent over his stream, his chat coming in, and I'm seeing Hustleaholics all over in the chat here. So we're going to say hi to everybody. I don't know if they're all here for Lego investing, but that's what we're talking about. But thank you guys for being here. So why don't you go ahead and talk about Lego investing a little bit while we've got the chat just doubled. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what you're up to, what you got going on.
So really busy. I mean, it's always busy, but it's busy on top of busy on top of busyness. You know, I'm doing the Lego arbitrage thing. It's treated me well over the last 10 years. I was doing the BrickBucks thing, and I parted ways with that. I wish Shane nothing but the best. Nothing but success there. And, you know, I'm now building something else by myself. So, and I know Justin can relate to that. So it's very busy. In addition to that, there's, I'm kind of scouting what my second act is with Lego. And I've been scouting what my second act for after Lego is. And when I say after, I'm talking about in addition. For years, because I'm sure Justin, when you know, he's been arbitraging, and you know, this is definitely isn't the first time we chatted, but you know, he gives a history about, you know, pretty much, and correct me if I'm wrong, from the cradle you were learning this stuff, right?
No, for sure. Like my dad taught me how to buy and resell when I was young. He had a furniture store. He was a salesman. He taught me the value of, you know, buying something for cheap and making money off of it. So, I mean, this has been in my blood for a long time. And I remember talking to my mom about this over a year ago. And I told my mom, I was like, I think I'm going to start Lego investing. I was like, I'm going to spend $1,000 on Legos and I'm going to see what happens. I was like, I'm going to document it and see how it goes. I spent $1,000 in a week, Jim, and I never looked back, man. I've just been, it's been crazy.
Right. Yeah. So whenever you're doing your arbitrage, I'm sure you come across something and you might entertain the idea, you know, could this be better than Lego or better than, you know, Lego's my wheelhouse. So I don't, and I know you do Lego, but I actually don't know if that's your strong suit, or it could be video games, could be, you know, a bunch of other things, or a combination of, but yeah, so I'm doing some exploring. I got some ideas. I pulled the trigger on and we're talking arbitrage here, so
Right,
it's just not Lego and it's not toys either. So I'm I'm using a piece of my Lego bank account for R&D, research and development, to
Okay.
to come up with other things. So I'm trying to I wouldn't even call build it. I'm like in the exploratory stages of that right now, and if
Okay.
this is something that I want to move forward with, and I've already bought a couple things I'm just testing out. There may be an announcement in January, but so much
Yeah.
other stuff going on. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
honestly the number one thing on my mind right now is making sure my kids went to bed on time versus anything else. So
Well, that's that's good, man. Family's got to come first. You got to take
right.
care of the home life. You got to have a strong foundation, because if you don't have that, nothing else matters. Health, family, and then everything else is just trying to fit it in 24 hours in a day.
Right.
I want to go ahead and thank Joe G for another $5.67 super chat. I'm not sure where you came up with the number, but I do appreciate it. Joe is a big supporter of the channel, and I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
So what kind of platforms do you sell on, Jim?
So it's pretty much eBay, Walmart, and Amazon. I would say eBay's probably 5%. Walmart is probably 15 to 20%. And then the bulk of it is Amazon. So, it treats me well. I've been doing this for 10 years, and each year, and same thing with you, at the end of each Q4, you probably have an after action report or things that you could have tweaked or nuanced a little bit differently to make what you're doing a little bit more streamlined. And that's something I do every year. I would say for myself, if you were to ask me what that one thing is that I would have changed, is I'm kind of torn. A piece of me has zero regrets what I've done this year when it comes to buying Lego, but at the same time, because I'm spending all my money at once on sets that retired in December. Mm-hmm. I can't take advantage of the Walmart clearance in July.
Right.
But at the same time, there's a trade-off. Is it bad? Is it good? So that's something I'm, currently wrapping my head around and trying to figure out. Maybe I'll have an additional Lego fund for like a rainy day Lego fund or something like that. So
right. Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of, that's something you have to think about with any kind of, business, reselling business. I mean, any business in general is just, cash flow. Do you buy everything when you know it's a really good deal? And then when do you start to cash out? And when is that, is it worth it to hold it for 6 months or a year, or do you wait 2 years or whatever? So yeah, I wrestle with that every day too, Jim. Like I'm starting to sell some of my Lego from like December and January just because I want to turn stuff. And it's like I could wait another year, but I'm already at like double or triple my money, so why not?
Right.
David's got a good question here. He says, "What's your guys' thoughts on what Lego might do pressure-wise on Amazon's platform with resellers?" Do you have any 2 cents you want to offer there?
So that's a great question, David. I'm glad you asked it. I've recently had a different perspective on it. So I recorded a YouTube video last night. It should hopefully be out on Tuesday, where Lego has put pressure on Amazon, and it seems like every time Lego wants to do something to affect resellers, they can't. So the last time, I would say, Corona, COVID-19, whatever war they had on resellers, they can't, because there's a desperate need for inventory, because factories aren't producing. So, and it's really not meant to give a teaser to this. And I would be happy to hear Justin's perspective on this. But the topic for my next video is, the toy shortage of 2022. I'm sorry, 2021. And I have been picking up some headlines here and there where they're talking about toy shortages. Then Toys for Tots recently came out, and they said it's kind of like going to be a perfect storm. And almost worse than COVID, whenever there was an inventory shortage. In addition to that, you have super cargo containers going up when it comes to shipping the shipping containers. February of last year, 2020, I think it was less than $2,000 to ship something from Shanghai to Los Angeles.
Right. And now it's what, like 15 grand or something like
that? It's between 10 and 15 grand.
Yeah, it's the shipping costs are ridiculous, So I don't know how they're going to recover or how long that's going to take before that can be alleviated.
Right. So you have that. Then you have production issues on top of that.
Right.
And then you have all these other things. I have three fingers up. It looks like I'm only doing one, but yeah. So with all of that going on, Lego thinks they're going to flex and tell Amazon, hey, can we control these resellers during a potential toy shortage during the busiest season of the year? Good luck with that.
Right. So you're leaning towards it's not going to happen at least this year.
At least this year, and I'm going to be honest. I mean, here's the deal. All right. I don't see Jeff Bezos, and I understand it's not his decision. But, if he was at the helm wanting to, choose, he would find a happy medium. And, let me tell you, for the last 2 to 3 months, my Patreon members have been having such an easy time getting ungated on Lego on Amazon than they have the 9 months prior.
Okay.
So, it's kind of contradictory, right? What exactly is going on with this stuff?
Right.
So,
real quick, I want to acknowledge and thank a few people here before we miss it. Richie dropped a $20 super chat. He said Justin's come a long way and he works hard to bring you dinners. The reseller community is strong, Mr. Lego. I appreciate that, Mr. Richie Hustles. Thank you, and thank all of your Hustleaholic squad gang people to come join us and hang and talk Legos. I appreciate it. I'm sure Jim appreciates it. If you guys haven't already, check out Jim's channel. His channel is called Wolf of Bricks. He's all about Lego investing, reselling, making money, and teaching you how to do it. And he's got a lot of great information. So check out his channel. Check out Richie's channel if you haven't already. He's been killing it. He's I think just about every day he's in doing a YouTube live or a video or something. He pumps out more content than I have hours in a day. He's killing it out there. So thank you. I appreciate that. And thank everyone for coming to hang with us. I just want to try to acknowledge these before they go away.
Right.
And Joe G said he dropped another $5.69 super chat. And he said, my numbers are random because I give too many $5 super chats and my credit card shuts me down thinking I hacked because what psycho keeps donating $5. Well, we appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm sure everyone here does. And Lauren B dropped me a couple bananas. I saw a banana in the chat, a super sticker. I don't know where they are. There we go. And that's something else I wanted to talk about. We haven't really talked about it much. You have a Patreon group. And I think that's really interesting. I think that's really neat. Why don't you kind of give us a little backstory on that? Because I think that's a really cool thing that you do.
Right. So we have a Patreon, and when I say we, I mean me. And
right. We as in you and yourself. Go on.
Right. My imaginary friend. If you go to Patreon / Wolf of Bricks, or you Google Patreon Wolf of Bricks, we should pop up. I think there's only 2 spots available, and after that it's closing probably until January before we open up more people, because with Q4 coming, there's just not going to be a lot of time to do new one-on-one consultations with people. But yeah, so it serves a couple things for those of you that are seriously into Lego. And we have a wide variety of people there. We have people that haven't purchased a single set yet and they're trying to do their homework.
Sure.
And then we have people that clear between 2 to 3 million a year on Lego, right? Oh, I'm sorry, not on Lego, on other things including Lego. My apologies. The benefits of that is, depending on what tier, you'll at least have a one-on-one consultation with me. Another tier, you have the opportunity to do it monthly. There's monthly group chats where, there's anywhere from 15 to 20 people in there, and we get stuff accomplished. I mean, we'll have an agenda, and when the camera starts, we throw that agenda out, and then we start talking about something and go down a rabbit hole, and all of us feel better afterwards because we potentially could have made some money because we attended that group chat. And I do Patreon, YouTube videos too. I try and do as many as I can, and I try and give you something at least once a week, at the very least 2 to 3 times a week. And there's other stuff too, and it benefits the Patreon members, and it also benefits the Patreon members again, because I really don't, the revenue generated from Patreon, I really don't. I think only one time have cashed it out. I put it into other things like the website. There was a article that I had someone research on buying and selling mistakes. So I was able to give a couple dollars to a nice lady to write that article, and people benefited. So I'm trying to churn all of that to sharpen everybody's skills. So if you want to check it out, feel free. I think there's only 2 spots left, and then at the beginning of next year, I might go ahead and open it up again.
Okay. Well, that's I think the Patreon thing is really neat. I think that's an interesting way to connect with other like-minded individuals, and you can kind of help them and talk to them about Lego investing. I'm good, thank you. I have my lovely assistant dropping in, my better half hanging out. So, sorry, we like to have fun. Thanks for dropping by.
Hey, who knows? Any minute, my 5-year-old might come here. I mean, he's been known during the one-on-one consultations to just sit down and join us. So
yeah, I'm not going to complain when I have a beautiful woman that just drops into frame and then offers me a drink. So I'm not. I have no problem with that. But I did see a couple comments about the Lego on Amazon. And I wanted to address it. Somebody said, has anyone been ungated or blocked with Lego? Something like that. Let me find it right here. David said, once ungated on Amazon or Walmart, have either of you worked or been able to require provide additional invoices to stay ungated? I haven't had this issue. Have you had any issues with this?
So it's interesting, right? Because I personally haven't had any issues, but I've had Patreon members approach me and say, "Hey, something happened. I'm no longer able to sell Speed Champions." Right? I mean, they've been able to sell Lego and Speed Champions, but something happened, and they have to go through the process again, which is, I just don't get it. And that's the thing. It's like Amazon isn't banning selling Lego, right? Across the board, they're just like, they're firing a buckshot and it scatters, and whoever gets it gets it. So but there have been some people that have been approved and then haven't been completely denied again, but it's been a little bit sporadic in some themes.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues with Lego. I have had issues with other toys that I've gotten hit with, like compliance requests where Amazon says, send us a letter that proves that this is, approved or whatever. And I've only had that happen a few times. I've heard other people having like hundreds. I think Richie posted something on his Instagram. He had like 100 compliance requests. And it's like, if you can find the document, you send it in. If you can't, you just sell it out and then delete it. And that's just how I deal with it.
Right.
So Jill said she just got ungated in Lego. Now I can send in the Walgreens clearance Legos you led me to months again. Thanks for all that you share. No problem. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.
Happy to help you.
That's right. Yeah. I'll look for Lego to anywhere. I found a bunch at Walgreens. Like I found some for like $1 and $2, and I just go around to every Walgreens and just, I leave a couple because I don't clear the shelf, Jim. Let's get that clear. I leave a few.
Well, but, can I be honest? There was one time, like, and I, this is a judge-free zone, right? Like, if you want to do it, great. If you don't, no
Right.
big deal. But there was one time, it was like February, and there was that mini Duplo birthday card, the mini Duplo pink car, Minnie Mouse, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just clearing this shelf one time. Like and it's just a matter of, you know, like, really everybody had their chance to get this set for years, let alone, you know, Q4. All right, I'm just going to clear this shelf one time and not feel bad about it. So here's what it is.
Well, you know, and that's the thing too. What if you find a Lego on clearance and there's only like one or two on the shelf, right?
Yeah,
I mean, can you really be like, you know, picked on for clearing the shelf when it's only a couple?
right.
I can't use that excuse because I find I get carts full, you know. But
well, and here's the deal, Justin. I mean, can we talk about you? I know. I'm your guest, but you and I haven't caught up in a long time. Like, you're putting out these, like, you know, private investigation videos now, and it just catches me so quickly, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what kind of, you know, landmine Justin step into at this Walmart? It's like, like if I was an employee, I would go into the break room and expect to see like a sketch of you on a right next to the schedules or something like that.
Yeah, I do think that they have a picture of my face at all the local Walmarts that says, you know, they've got a big X and they just keep an eye out for me. So I don't know if the people want to talk about me and what's going on with me. I mean,
that's
you guys
okay.
I'm here to hang with Jim, but if you guys, whatever, I mean, it's up to them. I don't really, you know, whatever. I enjoy talking to other people. I enjoy getting other, you know, opinions and stuff like that, because when I'm recording and talking to myself, it's sometimes it's like, man, why, you know, am I boring? I'm like, are these videos any good? And then people watch it, I'm like, okay, I'm doing okay, I guess.
Well, I'm waiting for like somebody to tackle you that shouldn't have tackled you or something. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. The weirdest stuff happens to me at Walmart too. And you know, I want to put out good content. I want to put out informational content, but at the same time, it's like, if something crazy happens, like, I'm going to share it, you know?
Right.
And part of that is too, it's like, we're making YouTube videos because we want people to watch it. And if you know, to get people to watch it, you have to put out a good thumbnail, and it all has to be, you know, tied in together and all of that. It's on the other side, it's like, if you make a good video, but nobody watches it, so, you know, you kind of get discouraged. It's hard to keep the mission going and all of that stuff. So,
right.
But yeah, I put a poll up on my Instagram today, Jim. I have two thumbnails for tomorrow's video, and I put a poll up on my Instagram. And if you guys aren't following me already, follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to hit 10K. I would really appreciate your support. And I had two crazy things happen in tomorrow's video, Jim. I had a lady stop me while I was scanning, and she's like, "Oh, I already bought all the good stuff." I was like, "Excuse me?" And she was like, "Yeah, I already bought all the good stuff. Like, I was here 2 weeks ago." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's cool. Just randomly tell me." And then I had another thing happen while I was at the same store looking for clearance. And I had a guy, after I walked away from my shopping cart, he started like going through my cart, and I had to like stop him. And I was like, why did these things happen to me? You know?
So whenever you said the weirdest things happen to you at Walmart, I think, you know, number one, you're not alone, but two, it's elevated because of the line of work you're in. So
that's true. Maybe because I'm, you know, shopping all of the time. I guess that's part of it. But yeah, I put a poll up on my Instagram so people could pick tomorrow's thumbnail. And after we get done with the show, I'm going to pick the thumbnail that has the most votes, and that'll be the thumbnail for tomorrow's video.
Looking forward to it. And let me tell you, I think I'm on Instagram really, honestly, right now, I'm on Instagram mostly for you. And I'm not just blowing smoke up you know, but you know, I got my, anytime someone gets a phone, they get like this Instagram app, right?
Yeah, go on, Jim. Flattery will get you everywhere.
Right. And I'm like, you know, so it's, Instagram is kind of a foreign thing to me, right? It's like, I'm surprised how many people communicate via Instagram, right? I mean, you could do Facebook Messenger, you could do all kinds of stuff. And you know, that's how you and I first started communicating. And I think that's how, you know, I met Mark on Brick Foundation and a few other things. So I'm following. I don't even know who I'm following, but the only person I really pay attention to is you. Because let me tell you, man, those thumbnails, boy, do they capture me. I'm like, what is going? And here's the thing, too. I mean, I'm excited. I'm just excited to watch your success because back when you were a guest on that other YouTube channel,
Right.
I told you after like in the virtual green room after the show, I said when it comes to subscribers, you're gonna blow right past us, and you were very humble, and you're like, well, thanks, Jim, but you know what? And I mean, and when I go on Instagram, I see this tile you posted of 15,000 subscribers, 16,000, and I'm like, good for Justin, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't feel real to me, and that's something that I struggle with because, like, I don't consider myself like a YouTuber. I have a hard time saying I'm a content creator because I watch other videos and I feel like the people that I watch are so much more talented or their videos are so much more interesting. I'm like, I'm just, I'm sharing my brand of humor and my brand of entertainment of the things I find interesting and my corny dad jokes, So I'm grateful for every single subscriber that I get, for every person that watches, and they're like, I want to see more of that, like that's a vote that says, I want to be a part of this or whatever. So I am constantly amazed and constantly humble and grateful about everything that's happening because I did my channel for a year, Jim. I wasn't very consistent, and it took me a year to gain 1,000 subscribers.
Right, it does. I mean, my first channel, I think it took 18 months,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, it was only one video that like really took off.
Yeah,
because when you go to your analytics, I was like, wow, that was the video, and
right.
and you never know what happens if someone posts it to a message board or a blog or Reddit, and next thing you know, it's off to the races. So
Right. Off to the races. Real quick, I want to say hi to a few people that have jumped in the chat. Baldy Pell Picking, Adam is in here. Thanks for being here. We got Lord Popes in here dropping in. Somebody asked me, I think Kimberly asked me, Justin, what did you say to the guy that was looking in your cart? It's going to be in the thumbnail, but you'll have to watch to find out. It'll be up tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Central. I drop kicked him. No, I'm just kidding. But that's part of it, right? Like it has to be entertaining and catching and all of that. And what I've been doing lately is I've been using quotes from my video, either something I said or something an employee said, but it's kind of neat because people are like, oh, when is this going to happen or whatever. So
yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Right.
But people enjoy that stuff. So Joe G Resells dropped another $5.99 super chat. We got at least 10 more subscribers to Jim's channel. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Jim's got some great content. He is very entertaining. I have always enjoyed his videos on this channel and his prior history. But I do appreciate everyone being here tonight. We've got a Friday night live show going on at 8:30 Central Time. We've got 100 people in the chat. So if you guys haven't been here since the beginning, this is my guest, Jim. He's got his own channel called Wolf of Bricks, talking about reselling and making money and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions for me or for Jim, drop them in the chat and we will get to it. So did you say you have a new video coming out tomorrow, Jim?
No, I'm hoping it's Tuesday. And the interesting thing is you and I have talked about this in the past. Like we try and put out 3 videos a week. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. And so this week I put out 2 videos and I'm like, well, I'm doing a live chat. That kind of counts for one, right?
Sure, sure.
So I have one on Tuesday. Hopefully Morgan, who I'm very excited to join the Wolf of Bricks team, she'll be putting out a video later in the week, and then I'm gonna have to find the time somehow to crank out another one. And the thing about it is I try and do a different variety of videos, right? Some of them is just the format where I'm going over sets and, I go to Camel 3X or something like that. But I'm happy that I'm doing the one on Tuesday where I really don't even talk about a Lego set. I'm just talking about the toy shortage of Q4 2021. And I need time to get out of the house and maybe do a Target run. And I'm going to be honest, I don't I try and limit the Target runs that I do, because those are, that's a whole genre in itself, the Target run YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that I want to be lumped in with them. I'm happy for anybody to see the video, but I try and keep the niche of Lego. So, and there's other stuff too. Morgan has a couple friends that she wants to maybe go to Target and do some other things, but and there are times I really want to spend like an hour on an Excel spreadsheet and get a nice presentation going, but I just don't have that hour to do it. So hopefully I could find more time in the near future to where I could break things down.
Yeah, there's just not enough time in the day. And you were kind of talking about Target and like shopping and stuff like that. And I've got a few friends in the chat. Like, this is one of them here, Saving with Vero. She's got one of these channels where she kind of goes in and she's just showing like all of the discounts and like all of the deals and stuff like that. And I didn't even know like that was a big niche, and it is, because people just go in and they show and they find all this cool stuff and they just show it, and they're like, this is a great deal and you can look for this. And for my purposes, like for reselling, that's great. For people looking to save money or help feed their family for less or clothe them for less and all that stuff. So I really enjoy channels like that too. So I know we're just talking about Legos, but there's so many other things that we're connected to as well, that are kind of in the same lane like you're talking about.
And it's great because let me tell you, I'm very thankful that you had me on for many reasons, but one of the reasons is to just be a part of this love during the live chat, because there are times I'll see, you're on a live chat and I'm browsing through stuff and I'm like so tired, and I want to leave a comment, but at the same time, I don't want to do a drive-by and just leave a comment and then go to bed, right? And I'm like, man, there's so much love going on in this live stream. I want to be a part of it. But I'm like, but I'm so exhausted and I got to be up at 6:30 on a Saturday morning. So, so it's nice to experience all of this love as well.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. We've got 91 people in the chat right now. We had 100 after the raid. I'd say we've got pretty good numbers right now. Kevin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Kevin Vasquez Reyes, KVR. He's another one of my buddies, a reseller buddies. He's got some great videos on flipping shoes and selling stuff on eBay and Mercari. So you guys check him out too if you haven't already. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, guys. It really does help. I appreciate it. It helps out, but you don't have to, but every dollar helps, and it just keeps giving me more motivation. Just want to keep working harder, provide more content. I've actually got a series of videos that I'm working on, Jim, but I haven't published them yet, but basically I'm going to start doing some how-to stuff and training new people on basically like the basic steps on how to get started. Because I get a lot of common questions, and I feel like my time would be better helpful if I could just put out those videos like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And, then people can just search for those answers. So I'm looking to get those started soon. So I think that'll be cool.
Cool.
So, and Joe G said your link is in the description. Make sure you guys subscribe. I did drop it in the chat. If you don't see it, I'll go ahead and drop it again.
God bless you, Joji. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Joji is doing the Lord's work out here. We appreciate that. I appreciate everyone in the chat. I know Jim does as well.
And the funny thing is, I don't know if you see me look down occasionally. I was looking down for two reasons. One is I was wanting to check out to see if my subs went up. And the other one was to respond to my wife, because she texted me and wanted to know how late the liquor store is open till. So I guess
right. There you go.
I guess bedtime with the kids didn't go as well as what I thought it was going to go.
I gotcha. Well, we do what we have to. So I got a couple comments here I want to highlight, and then we've got a question for you. Tanner said my two favorite channels in one stream.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you.
We appreciate that very much. Mike Coleman has a question. Jim, how long have you been reselling Lego, and what got you concentrating specifically into Lego?
All right. So I'm going to try and make a very long answer very short. Okay. And I know I will fail miserably at it.
All right. I'm going to flick through some other comments while you're talking just to address everybody. But go on.
So the 2008 housing crisis, right? it is what it is. And yeah, I'm just going to be honest. My life savings at the time was $12,000 in a 401k. I got my statement one time, and it was $8,000. And you know, not to get into politics or anything like that. As far as I'm concerned, people stole money from me, right? And so I wanted to get into something that was physical and tangible.
Right.
And you know, I've had people that millionaires are like, I lost 200,000 during the recession. Well, good for you. All right. If you want to, if you think you're going to bounce back from it and you'll accept it after you bounce back, that's great. Me, I still have a grudge. So, so I started to get into gold and silver, and I was doing that. And then I always wanted to be a power seller, right? An eBay power seller. But every time I would meet one, like, they would immediately not tell me anything, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to steal your Coach Purse's business model, like, right? Like, that's not whatever. So one day, when I was a manager at Barnes and Noble, they discounted the Elf on the Shelves from $30 to like $5, and I said, what? And so I called off sick the next day at Barnes and Noble, and I picked up all the Elf on the Shelves in Columbus, Ohio, and most of the Elf on the Shelves in Pittsburgh. Everybody was laughing at me, right? Because nobody has a reseller mentality. And I'm like, keep laughing. So I was able to turn $800 into $4,000.
Wow.
In 10 months,
okay.
Right?
Selling Elf on the Shelves.
Selling Elf on the Shelf.
Yes, sir.
I said, this is pretty cool. I said, instead of doing 800 and making $4,000, why don't I save up and do 8,000 and make 40 grand, right? So I did that, and I saved up the $8,000, and half of it was in Barnes and Noble discounted gift cards. And the next year, you know, they did not discount Elf on the Shelf anymore. We had to send them back to the warehouse. I'm like, great. Well, what the heck am I going to do with $4,000 of Barnes and Noble gift cards, right? So, so my wife and I are going to the movies one night, and the movie theater is right next to Barnes and Noble, and a lot of people will go grab coffee before their movies and kind of just kill time at Barnes and Noble. So we walked past the Lego aisle, and there was this huge UCS R2D2, circa 2013, 2012. And my wife said, hey, you should get into that. So anytime my wife gets upset about Legos, you know, it was her idea, for the record.
Right.
And and so I got into that. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew R2D2. I knew its popularity, and I knew that there was a new trilogy coming out. So I stuck my head in my laptop for days, hours, weeks, years, and tried to do as much research as I could. And and it's treated me well. So
so you got started with Elf on the Shelves, then you went to Barnes and Nobles, and you got started with the R2D2, and you've been hooked ever since. You drank the Kool-Aid.
I did, and you know, it's treated me well. I mean, you know, every time my wife wants to say something about Legos, I'm like, well, you know, your student loan debt decreased by $20,000. So, you know, let's remember that.
Right. Well, that's pretty cool, and it sounds like, you know, she's supportive of what you got going on, and it sounds like the Lego investing thing was her fault. So I totally support that. That sounds good to me. Flipping Flip gave us a $5 super chat, and he said, my two favorites and one live. Thanks to both of you for all the videos and tips on Lego. FYI, DC is way better than Marvel, as Jim already knows.
Yes. and you know what? I totally forgot about because I was like, I wonder if that's going to come up, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead and expand on your false theory about how DC is any way better than Marvel.
I think I could be wrong. I think Flipping Flip may have emailed me, and I haven't got back to him yet. So if that's the case, please be patient. If I don't reply back to you in 48 hours, shoot me an email, and I'll give you my cell phone number, and we could just text, because that's probably the best way to get me. So so I mean, I don't know what else you want to say. I'm you know, we got close to 100 people on this live chat now. I'm sure they all agree that DC is better than Marvel, because here's the thing. All right, and I said this: Justice League is not a movie about good versus evil, defeating villains. It's a movie about son's relationships with their fathers.
Right. Yeah. Father and son. I remember you said that in another video.
Yeah. And I have a lot of respect for a franchise that kills off one of their number one superheroes, Superman, and is able to move forward with that. Now let's talk about Marvel. All right. Now, for those of you that don't know, and you can look this up on the internet, they filmed Thanos decapitating Captain America in the movie, and Thanos kicking his head to Iron Man's feet.
Oh, I'm sure the audiences didn't care for that. I'm sure that didn't go well.
Right.
They were like,
but they didn't have the courage to put that on the theater. On the movie. So, it is what it is. And, and here's the deal. Let's talk about the good things about Marvel, right?
Well, I mean, we all know that Thanos is the hero, and then the Avengers had to go and ruin everything.
Thanos is, if you want to break it down, Thanos is a person of color trying to save the universe, and a bunch of white dudes. I'm joking.
I've never heard that take on it before.
I was trying to come up with like the most polarizing thing I could say, and I think that was it. But yeah, I mean, and here's the deal: Thanos is a general, right? We all support the troops, so it is what it is. And he's trying to carve out his little bit of good. But it is what it is. But I understand, and I did not see. It took me a long time to see Endgame because I knew what was going to happen. I knew it was going to come, and it is, but it's great. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Thanos. I like, I honestly, to be honest, I like Thor. I like Thor in his dysfunctional family because that's a story. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a story there about a father and son, and a stepbrother that is doing his thing. And so I would say like my favorite characters are Thanos and Loki. And
I really like the Loki show. Did you watch the Loki show? I enjoyed it.
Honestly, I've only seen the first one, and it's not because I've been turned off. It's just because, again, I have no time. I'm trying to be a good husband and watch Lego Masters with my wife. So,
that sounds like a good Saturday night date night,
right?
Lego Masters, but. I want to try to catch up in the chat here because we're falling.
I'm sorry, I've been talking.
No, you're good. We're just falling desperately behind here. We did get a question from iClaw. He said, "Do either of you have the Simpsons Lego sets?" I do not.
I did. I sold them all.
You sold them. You made that money. Alda Guzman said, "Jim, what can I do with Legos that are all mixed? My grandson mixed all the sets."
So, in regards, if you're wanting to do something and sell them. I would break them down into the same color. I would sell. I would put them in bags. I would sell the same color, like yellow. A pound of yellow bricks, a pound of red bricks. You'll make more money doing that than you will, posting it on Craigslist with a tub of mixed colors.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really mess with loose bricks too much, so that's not a good one for me. Frank said, "Thanks for the awesome educational experience. Thank you for being here." Looks like we've got someone else from London, Ontario, Canada at Walmart, or just a little myth. I've never shopped in a Canadian Walmart. How about you, Jim?
I have not. I've been to 21 countries, but I've never been to Canada. So.
Okay. Well, it's not like they're really close to America or anything. So.
Right.
TW has dropped this question a couple times, so I need to go ahead and address this. Jim, why don't Lego collectors like grading Lego sets?
So that's a good question. And when you say grading Lego sets, I'm guessing, having an immaculate box in some sort of like plastic case, and it's like a grade 70 or something like that, like a Silver Eagle or something. I don't know. And here's the deal. I could be wrong, and please drop it in the comments. I don't, other than baseball cards and a few other things like comic books and stuff like that, and video games. I saw like a Super Mario one time, like from 1980 something, in some sort of, plastic clear box. That's great.
Yeah.
I just don't see that as a thing now. If I was a collector, and regrettably I'm not, and when I say regrettably, because I really don't have that much time. If I and I've said this one other time, like, so I have the Tumbler, right? The first Tumbler that came out,
Yeah.
the big one, the $200 one. Let's say I didn't have that and I wanted to brick link it. I mean,
Okay.
I think I would ask for used pieces instead of new pieces, because the Tumbler has been through a lot of stuff, right? So if there's a chip in a piece or something like that, I think that would build character versus having like a new shiny Tumbler or something like that. But I really don't know, and maybe honestly, because they're so flipping big, right? I
Right.
mean, you could have a stack of 20 silver eagles right in the palm of your hand, or you have 20 Simpson houses. What are you gonna?
Right. Yeah. That's another thing about Lego investing is that they just take up so much space, especially the bigger sets, and it's just like, I don't even know if it's worth it sometimes. My storage space is just ridiculous.
So I would never do this anywhere else, but since this is a live
Uh-oh.
chat,
We're going to get a peek behind the curtain.
so right here, there's.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's just, and that's what I could only show you right now. I mean, and here's the deal. It's not, by no means, anyone that's trying to rob me, but by no means is that really isn't much
Yeah.
to me. And most of it is in a warehouse in another state. This is stuff that
Right.
I didn't get on clearance, but I'm like, all right, I need to start. There's opportunities, and so I'm gonna pick these up, and then I'm like, okay, I need to go to Home Depot and buy some boxes now. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Storing them is just not a fun, it's not a fun endeavor for sure. I'm going to try to do some speed fire to try to get caught up in the chat here, but it's probably not going to happen. If you guys have questions for me or for Jim, continue to drop them and we'll get to them next week. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Jim's channel, if I can point the right way, Wolf of Bricks. Omni dropped a question here. He said, have you heard about the Wada Games Heritage Auction scandal video by Carl Jobst? What are your thoughts and opinions? And I know exactly what he's talking about. Have you heard about this? If not, I have a take.
I have not.
So long story short, this guy basically did like this 40-minute documentary interview style thing on the connection between Heritage Auctions, this company that auctions off all of these really expensive video games that are graded, and the company that actually grades them. And they're actually like partially owned by the same people.
Of course.
So this guy does this 40-minute documentary, and it's a great video. It's very interesting. It has a lot of interesting dots that were connected that you'd never know. And these people that started these companies actually got in trouble 20 years ago for doing the same thing with comic books or something like that. So it's the people that own these companies are intertwined. Plus they were fined $1 million, 20 years ago. And the companies are kind of outraged, and they're there's no merit to this. And it's kind of an interesting thing in the reseller collector community, video game community for sure. But that's something that's going on. It's a very interesting video. I think everyone should check out.
What's the name of that?
Well, it's by a guy named Carl Jobst.
Okay.
And it's about video game scam or something like that. But he talks about it for a while, and it's definitely worth it. I watched it at 2.5 or 2 speed, but it was really good.
Okay. Thank you.
So just kind of going through the chat, we got Victoria. Thank you for being here. Urban Fossicker said, do you post internationally? And I think that means ship internationally. And I don't know about you, Jim.
I don't think I do, and the reason why I don't have a clear answer for that is because I use a fulfillment center to do most of my inventory. I know we do Amazon Canada.
Okay.
And I've rarely shipped Legos overseas. Back whenever I was doing it on my own on eBay, I would do it and if they're willing to pay for shipping, I would be happy to do it. Right. I know I shipped a Cinema Palace as a prize for something I did on another YouTube channel, and
right.
I think that retailed many years ago for $150, and the shipping cost was $160, and that was the cheapest, right? So
Yeah. I'm still kind of scrolling through here. I think I missed a super chat from Joe G. He did drop another $5 one, but here's a $5 one. He said, "What do you think of the new R2D2 set at Target? I think it's about $200. What's your take on it?"
I think it's great, and here's the thing. Not only do I think it's great, I think it's, if you're a reseller, I think it's a gift that you could find it at Target, because I took a picture the other day when I was at Target, and I posted it to the Patreon Facebook group, and I said, I'm just amazed at how many, large sets they have. I mean, they have Harley Davidson. They even have the blacksmith set. So
that's a cool set. You don't see that one very often.
Right. And so, for those people that don't have a Lego store, or, they've got enough of the GWPs out there, whatever those are. I mean, you could stack discounts accordingly,
right?
And we're ramping up for Q4 right now, so they'll have those deals where, like, if you buy $50 of something or $100 of something, you get like a $20 gift card. So you could use that and apply it to the R2D2, which to me is a huge deal, because I have not purchased Legos. Well, I don't want to say I haven't purchased Legos from a wholesaler. I kind of have in the past before COVID, but I know many people that do. And the margins on a Star Wars Lego set are not that big. So if you're able to, and I'm not exaggerating, because
I'm not surprised. I imagine that Disney keeps those licenses, like they keep very strict controls on that kind of stuff.
Right, and not to get too much into the weeds, but if you're a wholesaler, you could probably buy a friend set off Lego for like 30% on the of a discount. But if it's something like Star Wars, it's somewhere around 15. So if you're able to get two $20 gift cards at Target, during some promo, I mean, you're buying that R2D2, at a lot lower price than many of the wholesale buyers out there.
Yeah, and that's a strategy you talk about in some of your videos. Stacking GWP, for anyone that doesn't know, it would be a gift with purchase. Let's say if you bought something from Lego, you spent $50, you get a free sailboat, or you get a free, Lego set, whatever. That could be an extra 20, 30, $40, depending on what the GWP is. Plus, what Jim was talking about was using other discounts. So that would be like using cashback, using a website like Rakuten, which is a free browser extension you can use to get free cashback. I use that on the Lego website. I get 5% cash back. Sometimes they do 10. If you guys aren't signed up for it already, there is a link in the description for it. If you use it and use my link, I think you get like $30 free, and I get $30 for free if you want to. If you don't want to and you don't like free money, that's totally up to you. And we do have a comment from Xavier, but it looks like he's signing off, but it looks like it's specifically pointed at you, Jim. It says it's 4 a.m. in the morning. Can this video be seen on both your channel? Good stuff. By the way, Jim, keep it up. Go out and get it.
Thank you. So, I have no plans to post this video. I don't even think, right. I don't even, and I don't mean it like that. I don't even think I have the ability to do that. Why would you need two YouTube channels to do it when you could, of course, go and see Justin's? I will say, though, within the next week or two, I'm going to be on some podcast.
Okay.
And I haven't had that conversation with him yet, but I know him. I'm pretty certain I'll be allowed to post that on my YouTube channel. They're going to post it on their YouTube channel, and I'll let them post that like a week or two ahead of mine, because that's their deal. And
I gotcha.
For the people that don't follow them, then I'll post it online.
Okay. We got another $5.25 super chat from Joe G that says, why isn't there a Lego store like a big candy store where they sell Legos by the pound, scoops and all? That's making me think of like a Lego store like by itself, because they have pick-a-brick, right?
Right. They do that, but it's kind of, when you go in there and you see how much space they dedicate to that, it's really not that much. So it's almost like they're trying to do us a favor. But there's third-party brick and mortar stores that do that. I mean, I I don't know if I should show this or not,
Uh-oh.
but it's a mock. It's my very first mock that I've done.
Okay.
So, but I needed to go to pick a brick because I wanted to kind of do it. So I got a bulldozer. I bought a bulldozer, a Lego City bulldozer, and then I give it like this black shield right here. I don't know if you guys are up on your history, but there was this guy a long time ago that armor plated a bulldozer and made the headlines. So
yeah, didn't he like drive it through a city or something?
He might have done something like that in protest to taxes.
That does look like it. That's exactly what I thought, Jim. So the mock is pretty good.
Thanks.
Just gonna put that out there because I saw it and I was like, I know exactly what that's from.
Right. So yeah. So this is it, and I forget the guy's name. You could Google it. All you need to do is Google armor plated bulldozer. But I couldn't have done this if there wasn't a third party, Lego place out there. And then I was happy to, and they had them for I forget, they had 3 types of bags. Yeah. And it was like $5, $15, and $20, or $5, $10, and $20, something like that. Yeah. So but I agree because and here's the thing, like, I wish Lego would just sell boxes of like one color brick.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
And they don't have to do it all the time, like every 5 years or something like that. So
yeah, because the only way they do that right now is like the little sets, right? Like the tiny little green bricks or the tiny little blue bricks, something like that. Those are like $5 sets or whatever.
Right.
Brad said, good to see you guys live, Justin and Jim. And I see another super chat popping up. Terry paid $2. I'm paying you to say hi to me. Hi, Terry. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for being here. Appreciate the $2 super chat. Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate it. Jim appreciates it. We're closing in on an hour here, and it's awfully close to my bedtime. But if you guys want us to keep going, drop a 1 in the chat. That'll work, if we can get a few ones in the chat. I mean, super chats work too, but that's fine. A 1 in the chat will suffice. So some 1s in the chat, and we will stick around a little bit longer and try to stay awake. If you guys have any more questions for me or for Jim, please drop them in the chat. But let's see some 1s if you guys want us to hang around for a little bit longer. We had a few more questions that I skipped over, but that's because I want to acknowledge everyone that drops the super chat. I definitely appreciate it. Jill said, Justin, when you send your Lego box sets to Amazon, do you polybag them? I hate to put Amazon stickers directly on the box. Jim, I stick a label on the box and I just ship it in. I do not give them any special treatment. What do you think? What do you do?
So 100% of my inventory is FBM.
Okay. So you do. So FBM. So for those that don't know, FBM is fulfilled by merchant. And you said that you have somebody that like ships it and does all the fulfillment for you, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah. So what Jim is saying is he does FBM. So when he sells a product, the product will get shipped directly to the consumer. So in your case, really, they would just have to do whatever prep they would do to ship it through the mail, then, right?
Correct.
Okay. I gotcha. Well, that sounds good. Looks like we've got a few 1s in the chat here. I'm seeing quite a few, so we're gonna stay a little bit longer. If you guys have any questions for me or for Jim, like what Jim is sipping on tonight, no, I'm just kidding.
It's good.
just go ahead and drop it in the chat for us. Urban Fossicker said, could you please give 3 recommendations of sets to start with for beginners? How about that?
Yeah. So first, Urban, I'm happy to do it. My only hesitation here is I don't want to sound like a broken record because I've said this before, but let me explain as to why, right? So if you're a new reseller, right, you want to have success and you want to have success quick. Like every reseller wants to have success. I get it. But you want to have quick success so you could feel validated that what you're doing is the right thing too. So you could get, maybe a couple family members off your back. And so you could also raise some more capital and start to churn it, right? Mm-hmm. So right now, and this may not sound like an exciting set, But if you could get the wolf farm, the Minecraft wolf farm on Amazon, and I think it's last time I checked, and I checked 2 or 3 days ago, you should be able to get that for $15.99. The reason why you want to do that is because it is retired. I think it retired last month.
Mm-hmm.
And all the Minecraft sets I bought January of 2020,
Yeah,
I sold out of December 2020. So the whole time was really 6 months, right?
yeah. So that's a pretty short hold time then, as far as an investment goes.
And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna share something that I wasn't expecting to share, but I'm feeling very generous because I feel the love. Right? I'm not joking, man. I feel the love on your live chats, like that. I'm not even participating in. Like I'll see on the screen, and I'm like, it's great. So here's the thing. This right now, if you were to ask me what the number one set is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to laugh and you're going to say, Jim, you're crazy. And guess what? I am crazy, but I'm going to be laughing all the way to the bank.
Can I guess before you say
please,
it? Can I guess?
Please.
I'm going to guess.
If anybody guesses this, I'll send them one.
Right. I'm going to guess it's the pizza Duplo set that you're a big fan of.
You're close.
Okay, so I know that Jim's a big fan of Duplo, and I'm pretty sure he's a big fan of this set. So I was hoping that would be the one.
I love it, and you know what? Tonight, this guy's my bartender. So I'll let it go if you're okay for 2 minutes before I say what it is, and then so people can guess. I'm not joking. If you're able to guess this, and you can't be a Patreon member. If you're a Patreon member watching this, you cannot. You can, and if Shane's watching, you cannot do it.
That doesn't count.
Right. But I'll fill up the 2 minutes by kind of answering the question a little bit more. Speed Champions is really good. It's not better than Minecraft. And architecture. So right now, I believe despite what Stone Wars says, I believe there's 2 architecture sets that are only going to retire. One is the Dubai, and the other one is I can never pronounce it correctly, the Traveler Square, or the
Trafalgar Square.
Yes, the Trafalgar Square.
Yep.
So I made a killing on the Burj Khalifa set, and I didn't expect that. I bought 115 of them because I had money to spend, and the sets that I wanted to buy were no longer available. And I was like, screw it. I'll pick up Burj Khalifa. It's a remake, I'll whatever. Right. And it was off to the races, not even joking. So that Dubai set, man, and it's a beautiful set. The Dubai skyline with the blue and the white and all that other stuff. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair enough that to say that the 2 minutes are gone. And again, you guys laugh. I don't care. Duplo Bakery.
Duplo Bakery. Okay. All right.
Is my number one set this year. And that's something I've been telling all my Patreons. That set you could have, and it's hard to find now. So if you're able to find it even at full price, good for you. But that is a set I believe was $30-something, $34-$35 you could get on sale for $27. When it sold out last December, it was going for almost $70. And something else that I love about it, the word educational is in the Amazon listing.
Oh, okay.
Love it.
So it's more appealing. So they're like, oh, this is an educational Lego toy.
Right. Right. So
I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat here, and Terry said she also puts the labels directly on the box. I do too. I don't do any special prep for Lego. Omni said quick nickel over the slow dime. But yeah, I know you're a fan of the Duplo sets. Personally, I'm not, just because the boxes are kind of big. Because I feel like I could get 2 or 3 Lego sets for a Duplo set, but I thought it was going to be the pizza set. But the bakery is, Jim is saying that the bakery is the number one Duplo set to check out.
That's my set for the year. When we're talking Duplo or Lego, that's it. And I already have my set for next year out too, and it's a Duplo set. I'm not going to give that information out. You'll have to stay tuned for next time Justin invites me over. But
Okay.
but yeah, I'm not joking, and it's I had a friend. I was like, "What? You got to be kidding me!" And she's like, "Check it out, right?" And I looked at it, and I was like, "All right, she might be onto something." And then I was talking to other resellers, right? Because when you have your reseller friends that you talk to, you don't want to hear what they have to say. You want to hear what they're not saying, right? So
Okay.
I said, you know, what do you think about this Duplo Bakery? They're like, you know what? Like, I have like 500 of them. I'm like, really? Is that a cricket? Did you hear that?
I feel like you've got like an alarm, a fire alarm that needs a battery replaced, because I don't think it's me.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm in an undisclosed location.
Right next to all the stacks of Lego boxes.
Right.
And I've got some people calling me out in the chat because they were asking when you were saying, like, guess what your favorite set is, and a few people said dots, and I never forget to mention, but in every video I mention how much I hate Lego dots. They're just the worst.
All right.
I'm not a fan.
So here's the deal, man.
But I'm not a fan of Lego dots. But caveat, I have been selling a lot of them lately because I bought a bunch from Kohl's when they were on clearance, Jim. Like, I have totes of dots, and they've been selling like crazy.
No, are you talking about those bracelets or the sets?
No, the big sets, like the one that has like the bracelet and all the different stuff in the tray. Like, I paid $5 a piece for those, and I've been getting like 35 to 40 a piece, and they're gone. I sold out.
Yeah. So man, it's like I don't want to give everything away. So let me ask you this, Justin, and
Sure.
of course the viewers could join in. If there was one set out of the dots theme that you would buy at like a 20% discount, which would it be?
For the dots, I don't think the bracelets, because they're small, and I feel like it's the bigger sets, the ones that I'm talking about, like with the trays and stuff, because those are kind of mid-range. Because like I bought those at like $5, and they're going for like 35 to 40. So I think MSRP on those is like 20 or 25. But if I could find those trays at like 20% off, I would probably buy a whole bunch of them. I don't have a specific set number that I'm like, you have to get the pineapple one, you know, or the rainbow one. Like, they're all, I so far from what I've seen, from what I bought in December and January, I'm sold out, and they were gone within a week.
And you don't like dots? You're doing well on dots, but you don't like dots?
I absolutely detest dots.
So here's the deal for me.
Right.
So I'm gonna make everybody a deal, right? Right now I have 738 subs right now on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna give it up. I'm gonna give it up right now. I just hope you guys could take me to 750 before the end of the day. And then after this, I'm shutting my mouth. So I am a huge fan. Whoever said dots was the one set that I was, I'm assuming it was probably a joke, but I would say in the top 5 of my sets that I like this year, that, oh my gosh, that Patreon members are going to kill me. Yeah, I should, next time I'm not going to bring this to, and folks, check it out on Camel 3X, the Dots Pineapple pen holder. Hear me out. It's a $20 set that you could get for $15. All right. And if you know what you're doing, you could probably get it for cheaper.
Right.
That set sold when it sold out, because it wasn't retired. I think it's retired now, but there's plenty of it. I'm sure you could go to Amazon.com and pull the trigger on 20 right now. In December, it went for like $47.
Okay. Wow.
So 15 into 47. That's how you make that's how you turn 15,000 into 47,000, right?
Yep.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that.
Yep. Terry's been dropping a lot of comments tonight. Yeah, she said, I hope you get a lot of new subs. I hope you have gained some new subs. I hope everyone in here is enjoying the chat. And Jim just said his pick for the dots would be would you say the pineapple set?
Yeah, the pineapple pen set. And here's the deal. I'm a fan of all of the not all of the dot sets. And here's the deal: I'm not a fan of the bracelets. Everybody's, let me tell you,
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if I went too heavy on the bracelets, Jim, but like when I was at Kohl's, I made one video at Kohl's. I don't think I made more than one, but I made one, maybe two. And I bought the big sets for $5 and then the bracelets for I think either $1 or $2. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to pan out. I still have the bracelets. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of the bracelets because, and I didn't post this on any of the Facebook groups because I didn't want people to be like, "What? That's not fair." But there was like a 4-month period on Walmart that I was buying stuff.
Yeah,
and they did this happen to you? And you open it up, there's like 10 packs of Dots bracelets in there, and you're like, "Geez,
like threw in some
this
extra or something."
Yeah, dude, I'm not. There's at least 10 in every box that I open. And I don't know if you know. I don't know if you remember that time where they did the ET video game. Like there was some desert in Nevada that they were breaking ground on, and there was like tens of thousands of those ET Atari video games.
Yeah. I remember reading about that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was Walmart's version of that. But when it comes to the Dot sets, like the jewelry box, because here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing, and I understand. I'm buying friends. 5 years ago, that would not happen. Okay, but it's DIY, right? It's some of the Dot sets has been, you know, they've put out, it's kind of a DIY thing, and you know, with COVID going on, you want to keep kids busy and all that other stuff. It's an activity.
Right.
I mean, the jewelry box, love the jewelry box. Anything that's like, and I would say 90% of those $20 sets I like. There's a couple I'm like, I don't think I'm going to put money in that. But
yeah. So now we've got Dots out of our system. We've purged the filth that is Dots. I want to acknowledge some super chats here. Joe G resells. I think he's trying to hit every $5 combination tonight, and I support you in that endeavor, Joe. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Joe said, "That's a good point. What are you not saying to us?" Well, I just told you guys. Like I talk about how much I hate Dots, but I've been selling them like crazy lately. So that's what I've had going on. And I think there was another one. I've been kind of scrolling through. Terry said, "Give us your thoughts on Dots, Jim," which you kind of already did. Joe said, "Wait, Justin is saying he hates Dots. What he is not telling us is that he loves Dots. That's what Justin is not saying." Well, yeah, like I said, the bracelets, I don't think those have been a good buy for me. So anytime I see them at Walmart, even if they're like $2, I'm like, no, thank you. But like what Jim is saying, the bigger sets, the Dots, like he was just telling, you know, that the $15 sets were going for like 47. So I agree. I like the bigger Dot sets for sure. So again, thank you for the super chats, Joe. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all being here. It's Friday night. We've got 90 people still in the house, and I think we're going to try to go for about maybe 10 more minutes. So if you guys have any more questions for me or for Jim, drop them in the chat. If you haven't already, subscribe to my friend Jim over here. I'm going to drop his link in the chat one more time. And why don't you tell us what else you got going on, Jim?
I mean, really excited about Morgan joining the Wolf of Bricks team. Yeah, I've been wanting, you know, that was like number one on my list. And the funny thing is, Morgan and I have been acquaintances for years, and she's into a lot of things. She does have a business background. She's also, you know, she's worked for ad agencies. She knows a lot of people, and so I shot her a Facebook message, and I said, "Hey, do you know anybody that might be interested in this?" And she's like, "Well, I know one person, me." And I was like, "Okay, great." And so, you know, she has zero experience when it comes to Lego, and I actually look at that as a benefit, right?
Okay.
It's a benefit for the other resellers that are just starting out, because they can see how, you know, someone else is starting out. And let me tell you, I guarantee you, it's not going to take her long enough to it's not going to take too long for her to be ungated from Lego. I'm going to make sure that happens rather quickly. So, you know, stay tuned for that. You know, there's some other projects I'm working on. behind the scenes that is not Wolf of Bricks related.
Okay.
But come January, there might be a second YouTube channel coming out for retail arbitrage. It's kind of retail arbitrage.
Yeah.
Arbitrage to some degree. So
okay. There's a couple more people in the chat that just kind of joined in. I want to say hi to them, but make sure I don't miss anybody. Prison to Profit. Dante just dropped in the chat. He's another reseller channel. Awesome guy. Very cool. And his I shouldn't say better half, his girlfriend, his partner, Kate reads. I don't see her in the chat, but she just hit 1K subscribers today. So we're all very excited for her. If you guys haven't already, check out my man Dante. Check out Katie Reads. Prison to Profit, Katie Reads are both awesome people. Katie is part of the reason why I started doing YouTube. She's been a big help, a big supporter. And I'm excited for her that she hit 1K today. Dante, it was kind of funny, Jim. Dante did a live stream today, and I think Katie was at like 950 subscribers, and he was like, I'm going to have a live stream until she hits 1,000. And I think it was like 15 minutes later, she's at 1,000. He's like, wow. He's like, that happened quick.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm going to put up a comment real quick, Jim. If you want to talk about it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. But I'm going to put it up real quick, and then we're going to try to address everybody else because we've got about 10 minutes left.
Yep.
So if you want, we can chat about this. If not, we can move on.
So here, yeah, I have no problem with this. So, Shane and I texted each other like a couple days ago. So it's not like it's like a breakup. I mean, it's a breakup in a sense. But if you look at what he does, and I'm not saying that this is the reason, but you look at what I do in regards to YouTube videos, he comes from a different approach, and I come from a separate approach, right? So, if you're just a viewer of the YouTube channels, what does this mean for you? Well, you guys are kind of benefiting from me being separated from BrickBox, because that means you have now 2 channels. You'll probably have more videos a week than what you did in the past. So it does nothing but benefit you. And, the separation was amicable. It was, I wish Shane nothing but success. He has control over a YouTube channel that I started 6 years ago, and I'm happy that he has it. That was part of the agreement, and I have no problem with that. So, he is approaching, I think he has like 8,700 subscribers. Probably by the end of the year, he's going to reach 10,000. And I'll be the first to congratulate him on that, because, again, that was a channel that I started 6 years ago before I even met Shane. And last July, when we put our heads together and put out a business plan, that was one of the things that I brought to the table. So, it'll be nice to see, 4, 5, 6 years from now where that channel is at. So I hope I answered that question, but we were going our different ways. He had some things that he wanted to do. I have some things that I want to do. And, I just think it's better for everybody.
Yeah. I like that approach that you're saying, that there's going to be more choices, more videos, stuff like that. I think that's interesting. I think that's a good way of looking at it, I think you're already, as you like to say, you're already off to the races, man. You started your new channel. You've had it for 2 weeks. You're already at 700 plus subscribers. I think somebody said we've already got you 20 tonight. I hope the people watching the replay will subscribe to Jim. I'll make sure his link is in the description. So thank you everyone for watching, subscribing, commenting, hanging out. I'm excited to see what happens with Jim's channel. I am more excited about Jim's merch. And Jim, I wish you had the other shirt on, because this is his logo, his Wolf of Bricks logo, but he's got a shirt that is just gold. Do you know what shirt I'm talking about, Jim?
Give me one. I think I do.
Okay, he's got one shirt that is just gold, and I'm probably going to have to buy one because I think it's hilarious.
Is that a white shirt?
Yeah, it's that one.
So there's this one right here.
Yeah, check this out, guys. This is Jim's merch for his new channel. Lego themed. Obviously, I thought that was pretty good. It caught me off guard when I saw it. I was like, that's phenomenal.
Right. And quickly, you know how I feel about modulars, right?
Right.
I'm gonna show you something.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm just going to grab a couple comments. But Joe G said, "What's Justin's favorite ice cream? Dippin' Dots." I love modulars. Nice. Oh, did somebody get that one for you as a joke?
Well, I'm gonna save that for next whenever Lego does a modular. That'll be a thumbnail.
Okay. I did see a comment in the chat. Somebody said they were going to get me a shirt that said "I love dots." And if they did, I would wear it. But yeah, it's okay.
Do you have a PO box so people could send you stuff?
I don't. I mean, I suppose I could. I have a virtual office. Basically, that means I rent a space at an industrial complex or whatever. So when wholesalers look at my address, they see an industrial building. So it helps with wholesale contracts and stuff like that. So I don't have my PO box or my mailing address public, but maybe one day I will.
Gotcha.
So, yep. Looks like I think Katie Reese just dropped in the chat. She's the one that just hit 1K. So thank you for being here, Katie. I appreciate it. Terry dropped the $5 super chat. Really thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Good night, fellas. Good night, Terry. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging.
Have a good night, Terry.
Flip and Flip, I like their comment. They said, I love both approaches. Agreed about having two channels, more the merrier. Prison of Profit, Dante said, smash that like button. I appreciate that, guys and gals. See, sometimes I have to catch myself because I'll be talking to the camera and I'll be like, hey, guys, how's it going? And I'm like, and gals and everyone watching this video. I appreciate it. So we still got 72 people here. We're going to end in about 5 minutes. So if you guys have any more questions for me, if you have any more questions for Jim, go ahead and drop it in the chat. If you want to talk about Legos or reselling or YouTube or more merch ideas for Jim, because he's already got a gold mine there. I'm pretty excited about that.
And can I just say real quick, this totally was not like planned. Like Justin and I did not chat about every single point that we were going to chat about, and I at no point did I even ask Justin to mention the Patreon. He just asked me. I think the last seats or last spots that were available are have now been taken up.
Oh, nice!
The course of this.
That's awesome.
So everybody, as soon as for every Patreon member that has recently joined, you know, when you join, you get a welcome message, and please don't think it's automated, because it's not. It is. We're not that sophisticated here. It comes directly from me. So after this chat is done, I will be sending everybody a welcome message with further instructions. So
awesome. I think this question or this comment, I think this one has been posted a couple times and I missed it the first time. They said, what do you think about the 501st battle pack for investing purposes?
I love it, man. And here's the deal. Normally I would say you got to watch people hoarding this. But I'm not, which is true, but I'm not going to say that in this regard, because people are army building, right? So people aren't just buying one of these after this retires. They're going to be buying 10, 20 of them. Yeah. So when the Winter Village Santa's Workshop came out, I think there was 250 sellers on Amazon. People on Brick Picker were crapping their pants. They're like, oh my gosh. But let me tell you, that was such a popular set. It freaking, I mean, all that inventory burned. I believe 80% of that inventory was burned out during the Q4 post-retirement. So that is one of those sets where you should not have to wait 24 months
for the value to go up on that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool set. I think I've only got like 20 of those, but I'll probably buy more as it gets closer to end of life, near retirement. But yeah, I think it's a really good set too.
Right.
So we got a few more comments. I just want to make sure we hit on real quick. Sean said, have you come across any Lego Millennium Falcon sets on clearance? And I did, but they were only like $15 off clearance, so I didn't even mess with it. If they were half off or more, I would have grabbed them. But I'm like, for $15, I'm like, you can get a better deal on sale sometimes, or cash discounts and stuff like that.
Let me ask you a question. Actually, I have two questions for you, Justin, if you don't mind. And I understand we're kind of under the gun here.
Well. How the turntables.
Oh, how the turntables. Yeah. So we're going to start off with a funny one, and I'm afraid to ask this question because some of the viewers are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, are you telling me you do this, Jim?" It's not like I mean to do this, but how many? And again, I'm afraid to ask this question.
Sure.
On average, how many Lego sets do you actually step on a year? Accidentally, of course.
Honestly, like not too many, because the majority of my sets are in storage, but I do have some, right? Like I have some up here. I'm going to get all of the new Marvel CMF minifigs, and I'm going to get all those up there because I think those are really sharp. So overall, I don't step on that many a year because I don't play with that money. I do assemble some sets because you can't be a Lego reseller nerd without having some sets. So I do have some, but I don't. I'm not injured that often by Lego.
It's been I think for me maybe 10 months, and it's like you know how you go to factories and they're like, it's been 365 days since there's been an injury at work.
Right.
Like I feel like I need to have, and I really didn't mean to. I had a tablecloth on this desk one time because I was doing something, and I had behind the tablecloth a Lego set, so I didn't see it as my foot was going to it. But when I crunched it, I was like, oh. And then I saw it was a Frozen, and I was like, well, it's not that bad. But and the other question, and maybe some of the viewers could answer this, like, do you have, like, I don't necessarily want to say a favorite Millennium Falcon that has been produced over the years? I know for me, the first Millennium Falcon out of the last trilogy, I really liked as just like a collector or a builder. There was one, I would say one of my all-time favorites was the one 2 years before that. The set number escapes me.
You're talking about the Han Solo Kessel Run?
I think so. Yes, I think yeah. But I wasn't sure, because they churn them out every couple of years. I just wasn't sure if there was one that caught your eye more than the others.
No, I guess I don't really have a favorite. I don't know why, but I like the box of the Solo Kessel Run set better. I don't know. I really like that one. Even the one that is still on Walmart shelves right now. I'm not, like I said, I've only found it like $15 off, and I'm like, I don't need it, and if I found it for cheaper, definitely I would grab it. But I don't have one that just like sticks out to me. I do have a Lego Batman Tumbler set, like the big one. I have one of those that I haven't assembled yet. But I'm because I've heard rumors that they have a new Tumbler set coming out too. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah. I'm all ears on that. I can't wait till that drops.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good set. I think there's a mock-up, like a box that somebody did. I don't think that's the official box for it.
It's not. Right. I actually think it's the sand color one.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be neat too, because then you could stack them up, and because the other sand colored Tumbler one, I think it's very small, right? It's a much smaller version.
Right. The Lego was doing a release of some set like 2 months ago, and over off in the distance there was like a bookshelf with some other Lego sets, and there was like a sand tumbler one. So
gotcha, that would make sense. I did see another good question. Somebody said, Jim, where do I get the Target Flipping Flip said, Jim, where do I get the Target reseller shirt at?
My friend, let me tell you, once this website goes live, I will not be shameless when it comes to merch, just to let you know. But I will. Well, as a matter of fact, if depending on how bad you want it, here's what I'll do. I will send you one at cost.
Okay.
And when I say at cost, I don't have the merch store up yet. I if you want to wait, it's no big deal. But if you want to email me at wolfofbricks@gmail.com, I will send it to you at cost. There's two different types of material. You could have like the regular cotton, which I think is like $25, or you could have the Bella, which is like a soft cotton. and it's more durable. I think that's 30, but I'm making no money. And here's the deal: I'll even pay for postage. If you pay at cost, I'll pay for postage as long as you live in the U.S. If you don't live in the U.S., shoot me an email and I will send you the graphic on it, and you could go have it made up yourself.
Nice. Well, that's that. I don't think you're going to find a better deal than that. But thank you guys. We are going to wrap it up. We did go a little bit further past what we were going for, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the comments and the questions and the love, and for hanging with us. And you've got a million other things vying for your time and attention. And I really do appreciate everyone being here tonight. Hang with me and my guest. Check him out. Subscribe to his channel. A lot of great content. Thank you for being here again, Jim.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So, all right. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.